does it give that weird ass date? Hello, hello, hello. I don't understand why it says it's waiting for manifestation with Kimberly September 22nd at 2:09 p.m. I don't know why it says that and why it hasn't. There we go. That is just weird to me. So I wonder if it says that if you search. Oh my gosh. I'm just curious that on your end, well, hello, first of all. I'm curious on your end, did it say I was going live 2 days ago at 2 o'clock like it did on mine? That is so weird to me. Very, very weird. How is everyone? I have an unexpected reschedule, so, which is not a bad thing. So I have this hour unexpectedly, and I thought I'd go live. There we go. Greetings from Russia. Well, hello. Gosh, it's so exciting knowing everyone's all over the place, all over the world, and we're all connecting together. I love it. You didn't see it, Rhonda? All right, so maybe nobody else saw that. Or maybe it's just weird on my phone. Well, on my laptop, I mean, but I don't know. Yo, Kim, yo. Yo, Bryn, yo. What's up, Eric? How are you today? Bad Kitty, you didn't see it either? Yeah, it must be just on my end. Well, hello, Donatella. How are you, beautiful? Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Did that work? Yep. Okay. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Is it Julia Delacqua? That was very sweet. Hi, Queen Kim. You've become like a mom for me. That is so sweet. And I take that as a wonderful compliment. Thank you very much. Tammy, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. I'm about to get fired and have limited time to find a new job before being kicked out of the country. What should I do? Well, do we want to get fired? You trying to get, do you want, I mean, are we going to try to, decide we're not getting fired? Or are you just saying, fuck it and are going to focus on getting another job? Now, granted, I know that probably feels like seriously probably feels like a very dire, serious circumstance. And I understand you've got a lot of stress in front of you right now. However, remember, how are you viewing it? Are you viewing it from the limited 3D mindset? Remember, we can hop into any version of ourselves at any given moment. So if you're not trying to get fired, if you'd like to see, that get rectified, then, think about the version of you who isn't currently in that scenario. So I don't mean trying to focus on how you can fix that scenario. I mean literally focusing on being the you that is nowhere near that scenario. So whatever got you into that position, it's like thinking of it as either like moments before or like pressing fast forward. It's gone. Do you see what I'm saying? Any version of you can be accessed at all times. So I also would be viewing yourself as, happily employed and living in, I'm assuming it, are you in the US or are you some other country? I guess it really doesn't matter. Wherever you are that you don't want to leave, see yourself as being that version of yourself. You live there, you're safe and secure living where you are, and you're employed. Can we influence 3Ps, which we haven't met in real life? You can, well, let me word it like this. It doesn't matter if you've never met this person in real life. That is totally irrelevant. It seems relevant through a logical, literal filter, but it's not. So yes, you can, but bear in mind the reason why, which is consciousness. So in other words, is it that you're influencing the third party? No. You're selecting a version of them, a reality. So let's say you're trying to get rid of a third party. First of all, the less focus and attention you're putting on the third party, that's the quickest way to get rid of a biatch, okay? But the idea, all right, let me break this down in case we've got anybody brand new to manifestation. I know there's lots of videos out there telling you how to do this and how to do that. Let me give you a quick tip, okay? And you can utilize this tip for anything you're manifesting. Nothing fucking matters out in the 3D, including the people. Again, nothing, no one out here really matters. Now, again, I don't mean to say that they're all robots. I don't mean that. I mean, you're experiencing your reflection out here. So when you want to manifest anything, the quickest way from my perspective is tapping in to the version of yourself that's living the life that you would prefer. So if you want to be in a relationship with someone and ensure that there is no third party hanging around, then you would hop into that version of yourself. How to do that? Any manifestation technique can get you into a version of yourself. So you're doing it through conscious awareness. And it's your awareness that is projecting out into 3D reality. But you have been doing that your entire life. Even when you were not aware that you were doing it, you were doing it. You have begun being conditioned with limitations and conditions. And by the way, I don't mean to say that every single belief is bad or limited, but all beliefs are limited. But that doesn't mean they're bad, right? There is no good or bad. Everything is neutral. So all the things we've been conditioned with since the moment we entered the planet can be changed simply by you hopping into that version of yourself or looking through the filter of that viewpoint. Okay? But whether you know someone or not, that has no bearing on any manifestation. You do not have to ever officially meet. You don't even have to know what that third party looks like or what their voice sounds like. Totally irrelevant. Feels like it's relevant. Maybe, through that logical filter, you might decide that it matters. It doesn't. Okay? All right. Give me a second. Oh my gosh, you guys are fast. Okay. Salty, member for 16 months. Thank you very much. Kim, my SP was joking about us doing a Halloween couple costume. I'm going to start writing Hey, Kim, as my new scripting idea. Love you. I love you too, Salty. Well done. I am not surprised. I am not surprised whatsoever. When you step into a version of yourself through your awareness, things change. That's why you're experiencing movement, Salty. Well done. I'm so proud of you. Love, thank you very much. Can you talk about manifesting the end goal without what logically needs to come first before? Example, jumping straight to SP proposing or getting pregnant with someone who isn't a boyfriend yet. Hope that made sense. All right, let me reread that. Can you talk about manifesting, we'll say the wish fulfilled, without what logically needs to come first? Well, yeah. First of all, that's what we all should be doing, is not thinking about all the logical bullshit that you think needs to come first. So if you've been approaching manifestation thinking you're the one that has to figure out the things prior to the ending, like you being pregnant or you being proposed to, you being married, you've been probably limiting yourself without meaning to. This is exactly why I tell everyone that get your focus off of the how a manifestation can unfold. Because we tend to limit ourselves, especially if we think that a million things need to happen before the manifestation can come. So as far as like me talking about it, listen, I promote that truthfully. So if you want to be married, yeah, put the focus, put the awareness on being the version of you that is. The less you're focused on all the in-between shit, the quicker this can come. Because that's where most people stumble, is thinking logically, concerning themselves with how it's possible for this to unfold. All the things, like getting married. Being in the relationship. And if you're not in that relationship already, okay, thinking about manifesting this person, then manifesting the relationship, manifesting they want to be married, manifesting the proposal, manifesting, preparing for the wedding, all that logical crap. If you want to get your mind off of that, I call that perfection. Yes. The moment you want to manifest, if everyone could just jump to their end and stop farting around with the 3D, the quicker things could change. That's where most people get tripped up with manifesting, is getting their focus too much or being too concerned with how things unfold. And the worst crime, I'm being sarcastic, the worst crime in my eyes, total sarcasm, but is every single thing that pops up in the 3D trying to control and avoid. Well, Kim, I want to manifest being married, but I don't want this to happen, and I don't want this to happen, and I don't want that to happen. I think that's the crime. Again, that's just my personal opinion. It's not the truth. It's just, oh my gosh. Talk about stressing out and pulling your awareness on unimportant crap. That if you would just focus on the who you want to be, the version of you being married or the version of you being pregnant, the quicker shit would move. And that is the truth, because I believe from my own experience that is our influence over time. That influence, I don't mean that I have like an idea of, okay, yeah, you can chop off 30 days from your manifestation. I don't mean that. I mean in general, to move things along. From my experience, the more you're focused on who you want to be, like from the perspective of knowing you are that person, the quicker 3D moves. And I just want to say, to validate myself, because of course I want to validate myself. I think it was Shelley Bullard. I saw it was either Instagram or maybe it was a YouTube short. I don't remember where I saw it, but I just saw it recently, so it's something newer of hers, where what she said, not only do I agree with her, I know she was my reflection, and I mean, like, I totally experienced the same thing she did, which was when she was manifesting, her husband, getting him like to show up in her life. She was manifesting someone she didn't know, right? She was new love manifestation. That she got into that knowing feeling, like, I know this is going to happen, because she was deciding she was a version of herself. I think she probably uses the terminology of embodying that version of herself. And again, this isn't a quote, but she experienced the knowing. Like, she knew, it was unquestionable. She knew she was manifesting and it was happening, as in she was that self. And very shortly after, that knowingness came to her. That I can't talk. I cannot think on how else to word it other than, like, literally not questioning it at all. By knowing, I mean like total conviction, total confidence that the manifestation was hers. And again, shortly after, she manifested her husband. And I believe, don't quote me, I think she said the same thing happened for her, for getting pregnant, for having her baby. I might have had the orders mixed up, but I know it's something recent she posted. And I'm like, yes, bitch. Okay, I've said this, okay? I totally agree with you, girl. I experienced it too. So right before the amazing version of my relationship with my person, I came into such conviction. And, granted, in my scenario, I had the beauty of I wasn't doubting manifestation at that time. I was already further along in my journey that I knew manifestation worked. So I wasn't battling those doubts. But the moment I got that comfortable, confident knowing, this is done. I know this is going to happen. I know it is. And I know I'm that self now. I know I am. I know I'm in the right reality. That's how I would have worded it. Very shortly after, boom. And here we are now, years later. So I'm just saying, that knowing, that conviction. Why did I bring that up? I don't know. I don't remember. Just saying. Okay. It's Letitia, 73. Thank you very much. Just to say, I just love you, Kim. I just love you. Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. That was so sweet. Thank you very much. Divine Spirit, thank you very much. Our manifesting Queen Kim is back once again here when I needed your guidance the most. While doing sats, I am having trouble seeing my SP's face. Would it still work? Absolutely. I can see some of the features, but they are not that clear. What should I do? Not worry about it and just continue doing it. Do not overthink it. Don't overthink. Don't stress. It's okay if you're not getting a clear picture of your specific person. Do you know who your specific person is? If I say the phrase specific person, do you know who it is? Who do you think of? Who is it? As you're beginning sats, do you know who your intention is? Right? As in, do you know who you are intending that meditation, that sats, that visualization, and anybody else out there, your affirmations, whatever technique, do you know who you're talking about? That's the only thing that matters. So it does not matter if you're not getting a clear picture or if you feel like you can't clearly see your person's face. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you believe it matters. It doesn't matter. Okay. So also, if it's really upsetting you that you can't get your SP's clear face, then hop to that version of you. Hop to that new viewpoint, that new filter. Put the focus on being the you that can successfully visualize a clear picture. That version of you exists. All versions of you, all viewpoints exist. And you can hop into any one of them. So, but I wouldn't stress it if I were you. You are welcome. Thank you so much. You're the best. You are. Helen, beautiful bestie. Thank you very much. Hello, beautiful bestie. I feel so amazing and excited. I know I always tell you this, but I am so thankful I found you. You are the best. Helen, I am so thankful that you found me because I love you. And I am very, very grateful for our connection. So I'm glad you found me too. But since I'm, in my own reality bubble, and, everyone I'm encountering in this live stream right now is all from my perception. So I'm going to take credit for manifesting you. I'm going to take credit. It's my reality. You take credit for yours. But I'm very grateful for you as well. I'm grateful for everyone here. But Helen, you are my beautiful bestie. Whoops. Wish fulfilled state. Thank you very much. Asking God for help is such a welcome nuance. Love you. Love you too. And I am glad you are utilizing that. Answers will always come. To anybody else out there, let me just say, if you are feeling stuck, having a shit day, then ask for help. Not that you need to do this. I'm saying you can do this and answers will come. Now, if you don't believe in God, well, then don't think you're talking to God. Choose whoever you believe the I am is. Think of it as maybe you have a passed on family member. Ask. If you believe in God, ask God. Ask the I am. Ask your higher self. Ask the universe. You need guidance. You need an answer. Those answers will come. And you will know the answer is for you when it does come. Just saying. And it won't take a long time. Anytime along all the years of this girl knowing about conscious manifestation and applying it, anytime I have ever asked for help, for guidance from my higher self, God, it has come within, if not moments, within the day. So it's all in what you believe too. If you think it's going to take a week, well, that's your belief, so that'll be your reflection. See what I'm saying? But I have the belief that it answers quickly. And by it, I mean consciousness. Not for nothing, but the answer intuitively feels like that it's already done response, and I can see his big goofy smile. Well, I love that. What if your answer is give up, but you don't want to give up? Why do you believe your answer is to give up? What are you basing that off of? How do you know that was the response? It's 2:30 a.m. for me, and anyway, I'm here. Long time no talk, Belle. Long time no talk. Because you're tired. Okay, so then give up. If you're tired and more than likely listening to fear, and that seems to be the way out or what feels like the solution to you, then give up. Nobody can force you to be on this journey. Right? Nobody is forcing you to manifest your person. This is optional. This is why we've been given the free will to choose. But if someone was to ask me directly, I will tell you, you will never hear me telling anyone to give up unless they've offered that. I think I'm going to give up. I want to give up. Okay, so then give up. Give up. But if you're still ruminating in old self, you more than likely will experience whatever it is you're giving up on again. If you're sincerely just tired or exhausted, take a fucking break and stop forcing yourself to do techniques that don't feel good. Take a break. Get your mind on something other than what you're manifesting or manifestation techniques. It sounds crazy, but could you manifest like superpowers? I don't think anything is crazy, and I know, there's probably some people who automatically said no to that, but I'm sorry. I stand in what I believe in. I don't care what anybody else's opinion is. I believe that all versions of self exist. All versions. It's just a matter of you putting your awareness on being that self. How that unfolds, how it shows itself in front of you. Be open to that. Be open. Be in the flow. Don't try to fight. Like I would tell anybody, don't start searching. But I believe absolutely anything and everything is possible. As cuckoo as it might sound, it only sounds cuckoo because we are dominantly conditioned with limitations. Just saying. Yes, Hawkeyes, you are limitless. And how are you doing, my beautiful friend? So you're not sleeping. You're not sleeping. And you're already aware that that impacts how you feel. It's time to take a break. It's time to take a break. Get some fucking sleep so that you can rejudge yourself. I fucking love you, Kim. Stop messing around and marry me any day of the week, my beautiful friend. You know I love you. I wish you were my neighbor because we would hang out absolutely all the time. Kate Johnson, thank you very much. Kim, had some major movement with SP this weekend. We'll share on Tuesday, but since then, I've been feeling the fear and thus experienced some hot and cold. Judge, please. Absolutely. And hello, movement. Hello. And listen, you've already identified. You already identified fear. Some fear is coming in. Okay, so we saw the reflection with some hot and cold. So what? So what, girl? Get right back into the version of self you want to be. You just claim it. Claim it. You're having this amazing movement for a reason, Kate. So you know what? For the sake of this conversation, let's not even claim hot and cold behavior. Let's not. Let's not. New self. All right. We could logically duel back and forth with new self. So I suppose we could say, well, new self wouldn't probably experience the hot and cold. But do we know that for sure? The difference would be that new self wouldn't even assume it was cold behavior because new self would view it differently. So let's remove that. It's not hot and cold behavior. Let's take it off the table so we don't have to identify with it, right? It's our choice. It's our choice what we identify with. Let's decide that whatever you viewed or, perceived as cold, we're viewing it differently now. We're viewing it completely different. We don't have to pretend it didn't happen, unless, of course, we want to revise, which is always an option. But no, new self would confidently know that all experiences with SP are favorable. They're all leading you to the outcome. So no, it's all amazing movement. Yes, you heard some fearful thoughts. Yes, you might have experienced something that you were not 100% in love with. But let's be real. You're Teflon, baby. Get into new self. Claim it anyway. Claim it anyway. Because, listen, even if we hop back to old self and decide it was hot and cold behavior, it's still going to be twisted and turned and still bringing you to your outcome. So let's not take that heaviness. Why should we be inconvenienced with that heaviness? Fuck that. You're new self now. You get to feel great now. See what I'm saying? Tap into that. This is exactly what I needed to hear, Kim. Good. Good. I am so excited to hear about the movement. You deserve this. You do. You deserve this. Look what happens when you keep returning to new self. Things start moving and grooving. And we all know, again, this is why I said, listen, we don't have to have the heaviness of the cold behavior, because we know that no matter what, if we've been selecting a version of ourselves and doing our best to decide that everything we're experiencing is leading to the outcome, even those moments, okay? Again, so this is going back to labeling it as hot and cold. Even that hot and cold, whatever, maybe that was a part of the unfolding. By maybe, I mean it was. And look at how it unfolded. I got inspired because of an unexpected reschedule to come live. You showed up to the live, asked a question, and boom, you're right back to new self. All part of the unfolding, right? When we fall out of new self, that doesn't mean we are imperfect or we have fucked things up. Who knows? Maybe even hopping back and forth through versions of ourselves is a part of the unfolding. All the shit in the middle really doesn't matter when you think about it. I know sometimes it feels like it matters because nobody likes to be uncomfortable in their 3D. I know that. I don't like it either. But I'm saying I've been on this journey long enough to know that what has seemed to work for me is when I just get back to putting my awareness on who I want to be. Anything that's bothered me, annoyed me, hurt me in 3D has still led to my outcome. See what I'm saying? We never have to really worry about anything. It's always leading to what we want. Everything is. Even in this moment, if you don't believe that, who knows? Maybe that's a part of your unfolding. Maybe that's why you were led to watch this. Do you see what I mean? There's so much connection, so much inner connection, even, within ourselves here. I love you, Kate. You know I do. Not to mention, I love saying your name, Kate Johnson. I mean it comfortably when I say there really is nothing to ever worry about. Really. We are here to have a human experience. And again, I'm not trying to say that we have to have shitty moments, but I know I can be honest and say, I don't like shitty moments. I don't like feeling like garbage. I don't like stressing out. I don't like being afraid. I don't like being angry. I don't like being hurt. But after having experiences that I know I labeled as, we'll say bad, good or bad, right? As bad. And I, had emotions and feelings because of that thing out here. that taught me what things I do like. Do you see what I'm saying? So even the shit has taught conscious awareness on, okay, that contrast has shown me I definitely don't want that. I want this instead. It still worked to my benefit, is what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm not trying to tell everybody that you have to have terrible things on your manifestation unfolding journey. I don't mean that. I'm just saying we don't have to be afraid of them. If we would start looking at them through a different filter and stop being threatened by them, we still always end up getting what we want. Maybe not in the logical, literal, linear time frame that we always want it in, but let's use myself as the example. Being in the relationship I am now with my SP, I don't look back on the journey and get angry because of linear time. I don't look at it as, oh, I missed this time with him. I could have had that time with him. And again, we're talking about linear time. We know all time is now, but I'm saying for the sake of conversation, I don't look back and I don't really think much about it unless I'm talking about it with you guys. So it's not like you're going to regret this time. I'm also not saying that manifestations have to take a long time. That's not what I'm saying. But fuck being afraid. Fuck it. We don't have to be afraid of anything. We know how this works. Might not always feel like it's working, but it's really always working. It always is. You're moving and grooving. You're being moved along always. Even when life feels stagnant. It's moving. I'm so thankful you went live today. The pep talk I was giving myself. Yes! Yes, life is easy, effortless, and everything is perfect. Let me just say too, okay, really manifestation is easy and effortless. The only time it feels like work is when we are in a literal, logical mindset. We're either busy judging our 3D or listening to shit thoughts. We make it hard by bringing our focus to the things we don't like or the fearing that it's never going to manifest. So really, this could be an easy, effortless journey if we would just keep our eye on the prize and just live and exist. See what I'm saying? But we don't. We get human and we get frustrated and we get scared or we get angry. It's only because we're judging the 3D in that moment. La sed verdadera. I know I just butchered that. Sorry, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Kim. Why, although I am deciding to be new self, I don't see it in my reality? Manifesting SP and money, etc. I know everything works in my favor. I can't go wrong. If you know both of those and you are choosing to be new self, then how is it possible for you to interpret reality as it's not working or that it's not here yet? How? Because those are completely different versions of yourself. Now, literally speaking, I get it. You got to tell me what's going on in your mind to ask me a question, right? So I'm not picking on you. I'm just stating the obvious. How or what 3D circumstances are you using to validate yourself that nothing's here and nothing's worked? See, anytime we feel like that, number one, that's it. We're in that self. We're in that point of view, that perception in that moment, because that's how we're perceiving 3D. So when we feel like it's not here yet. Number one, yes, okay, that's the version of yourself. I am the version of self that doesn't see my manifestation. It's not here yet. I'm doing all the things, I'm doing all the techniques, and it's still not here yet. You are so powerful and so happily in charge of your free will that you are the boss of the perception of your reality. 100% the boss. And you're 100% the boss over what version of yourself you're showing up as. So if we can't perceive reality as this hasn't worked, why don't I see my manifestation and being the version of ourself that has it? They are separate. Those two versions, separate realities. And also, please don't think I'm splitting hairs on you. I'm just trying to point it out to you so you get it. Okay? Because listen, the version of self I was, I've said this before, the version of myself that I was, especially in the early days, it would have really pissed me off if someone had said to me what I just said to you. It would have frustrated me. So I'm not trying to frustrate you. Okay? My victim state back then was on fire. And I would have looked at that answer and said, okay, so it's still my fault. Still my fault why it's not here yet. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not that version of myself, so that's why it's not here yet. It's simply not here yet. That's who I was. So I feel for anybody in that version of themselves. But manifestation, reality transurfing, reality hopping, quantum leaping, quantum jumping, they really are so simple by viewpoints, by versions of self. So stop saying it's not here yet. Stop saying nothing's worked. Now, granted, you didn't write that in there. I'm just adding it in case anybody else is listening. Don't claim it's not working for yourself. That's a version. That's a reality. Remember your powerful free will. Don't claim shit that you don't want. I'm not saying be afraid. I'm saying if you want to press fast forward and get your manifestation, stop claiming it's not here. It's not here. Stop judging the 3D. If you're going to judge it to your benefit. In other words, I don't logically and literally see anything in front of me, and my 3D doesn't necessarily make sense, but I know that everything I'm experiencing is leading me to exactly what I want. So it's like you said, it's all to my benefit. It's all to my benefit. Maybe my 3D human mind can't logically see through the veil, but we don't have to see through the veil. We have to claim a version of ourselves. See what I mean? The moment you decide who you are, you go there. You're in that self. It is so instant. I know it doesn't always feel instant because our logical perception then says, yeah, but I don't see my manifestation. So how is it instant? Because it is. It's that decision. Your viewing, your perception of 3D changes. But it's so fast that you could decide you are a version of yourself. The moment you decide to look at 3D and look for it, you already hop back. You already went right back to being the self looking for it. Again, I know everybody wants their shit. I know. I did too. That was one of the biggest lessons I learned. Stop judging the 3D. Detach from it. So if we find it difficult to not judge what we're experiencing, then let's practice detachment. For me, that ended up being, my habit is to spend more time in my imagination. And it just feels better. It just really does feel better. So whatever you're manifesting, when your attention, when your focus gets pulled to 3D in a not so beneficial way, use that amazing moment to bring the awareness back, specifically to what you want. Bring it back. Imagine already being that version of yourself. But honestly, that's the answer. I hope that didn't frustrate you, because I'm feeling for you right now. Poof! Thank you very much. Thank you no message, no nothing. Thank you so much. That was very, and I like your username. That was very nice. Thank you. Cammie, thank you very much. My gosh, you guys are wonderful. Thank you. That was so nice of you. It won't let me give you a heart on this one though, Cammie. If I could, I would. That was very, very nice. Renee, thank you very much. Wrote an umbrella affirmation for a list of 16 SP affirmations. I have everything I want regarding SP. The 16 affirmations, does my brain know what I'm talking about? Yes. Yes. But for curiosity's sake, is this like a piece of what you're affirming? Or is this the only thing you're affirming? And what meaning have you given this affirmation? So if your intention is my 16 SP affirmations are here, I like paper products, so I'm going to pretend you put it on a piece of paper. Here are my 16 SP affirmations. I'm going to now only use this one affirmation, and my intention is it means everything on my list. So if that's the meaning you've given that, and now that's what you're affirming, yes, it will work. Yes, it will be enough. My advice is, if that is all you have, granted, I haven't heard all 16 of your affirmations, so you may have already taken care of this, but remember, when you're manifesting a specific person, don't get lost in only affirming for a specific person. That is every person, at least that I've encountered, that is everyone's pitfall. Okay? Because it has nothing to do with the specific person, except for any stories or already beliefs that you might have about that person. But if you're manifesting a relationship with a specific person, it's about you. So I'm hoping, and again, you might have already done this, but you want you to be the priority. What you feel about you, what you believe about you, what you believe about yourself versus relationships, versus love, versus SP. But your overall, what you believe about yourself should be number one priority. And again, I'm not trying to add a million affirmations to your life. I'm saying make your intention to your umbrella affirmation if you'd like. I probably would add a little more something as far as that you are choosing to identify as I would say, as the new self, the self in the reality where you are living your damn best life. Okay? Again, I'm not telling you got to change all your affirmations. I'm saying I hope you have been mindful to make you the number one priority in what you're affirming. Is at least from the standpoint of who you believe you are. Okay? Oh my God, Kim, if you come to Salem, let me play tour guide, please. Sorry for the all caps, but I just now noticed your shirt. Well, first of all, I do want to come to Salem. That is a real thing. I was supposed to go last year, but we didn't go. I've thought about taking an impromptu, like last minute. I mean, I guess it's not impromptu or last minute if I'm talking about it right now, but I've thought about doing, because he and I like to just hop in the car and drive somewhere. We do that a lot. I would like to do that with Salem. However, I am very aware of the busyness there this time of year. So I don't know. We should have planned it already, is what we should have done, but we didn't because that's who we are. I'm just saying. Also, before I move on to the next one, please, for anybody else listening to that question about using one umbrella affirmation for multiple affirmations, why it's possible to do that, why it's okay to break down all your affirmations to one umbrella, because it's what your inner intention is, what you believe that one umbrella affirmation means to you. That's what matters. So, for example, I am new self. That's really all I use, unless I'm feeling sassy and I feel like saying more. Soon as I say that, I am new self, I know exactly what that means, because I actually broke it down on it, because I like paper products, really wrote out a list of what it means to me in all areas of my life. So every time I say I am new self, I instantly know what that is. That's my list. That's the reality I'm in. That's my new viewpoint. That's my new self. So because I believe it, it's why it works. See what I mean? It's all about the belief. That's what matters. Bayside, thank you very much. My girlfriend doesn't want to continue in spite of being madly in love with me just because my mom doesn't like her. Should I start being version whose love life is amazing or patch up between them? You know what I would do is I would be deciding that you are the version of yourself that's in that loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. My words, you don't have to use my words. Committed relationship with her. It's also the version of yourself that sees that your mother and her get along lovely. Your mother supports all of your decisions, all of your choices in life. That's one version. That's one reality of yours, right? There's a reality where you got it all. You got everything you want in every category of your life. So just choose that. That's what I would do. I'm in the reality where they get along like best friends and I have that lovely relationship. So I wouldn't put focus on, oh, I have to change your mind. I have to change your mind. No, you don't. Put the focus on being together, being happily in love with each other, and your mother and her get along great. That's what I would do. And also, Bezad, remember that now that you are going to, focus on being that self, I'm assuming you are. Remember, the 3D's changing. If you're focused on a version of yourself, that 3D will change. So try not to overthink it, right? Let's just say 10 minutes from now. Let's back that up. Let's say right now, you're choosing that version of yourself, okay? You are that new self. And then 10 minutes from now, for the sake of conversation, let's say you see your mother and your mother says, I can't stand that girl, okay? Don't look at that as this isn't working. Just return to your decision. Just put the focus back on who you want to be. Try not to overthink the things you're experiencing in 3D. Again, I'm not trying to prepare you to brace for impact that you might see something you don't like. I'm just trying to say, don't let the 3D have power. Don't give it weight. You see, because you are 3D. But we tend to believe it's separate from us or outside of us. And it's not. It's within us. Okay? I know that can sound kind of mindfuckery, but it's within us. Don't be fooled by your 3D. You are giving it direction. You are telling it what to do, even if it feels like you're not doing anything, that you're not doing that. Okay? It's working. Mariana, thank you very much. Hey, Kim, I've been affirming and visualizing for my SP for weeks. No movement in the 3D, even if I feel I am in the state of the wish fulfilled. Okay, I've been affirming and visualizing for my SP for weeks. No movement in the 3D. Even if I feel I am in the state of the wish fulfilled. Okay, like I said earlier, Mariana, and I know you probably sent this super chat long after or before I answered that previous one. Okay. First of all, please, from this point on, don't count linear time. Okay? Don't count linear time. You didn't put anything in here that indicates you're breaking it down by how many days have gone by. I'm saying as advice, stop counting the weeks. Get your eyes off linear time. I know it's not always easy, especially when 3D doesn't seem to be appearing like we see anything different. Stop claiming that nothing's happening. Okay? If you're affirming and visualizing, and if you are claiming that you are new self, you wouldn't be able to interpret 3D as, I don't see anything happening. Nothing's working. I haven't heard from SB. See what I mean? That's a different version of yourself. Go back. Put the focus back on the reality you prefer to be in or the version of self you prefer to be. It's not because your manifestation isn't working. It's not because the techniques that you are using are shitty techniques, right? Remember, in the scheme of things, techniques really don't have shit to do with manifestation. Techniques are tools to move you into the identity that you want to be in. So don't overthink that. It never implies that it's not working. There are people all over the place who have moved from the supposed no contact to boom, instant movement out of nowhere, and things rapidly unfold. So you not hearing anything from SP has no bearing on what you're manifesting. I know it feels like it does. And it's only because of how you're perceiving your reality. Do you see what I mean? You're perceiving it as it's quiet, nothing's happening, blah, blah, blah. And logically and literally, I understand why you're perceiving it that way, but that's why we have that free will choice to be in any version of ourselves we want to be. So when we catch ourselves out of that, return. See, no one can tell you, number one, when a manifestation physically is going to be sitting in front of your face. No one can tell you that. No one can tell you how long it may take for it to physically be in your face. What I can tell you is when you choose to be a version of yourself, when your awareness is placed on who you are choosing to be, that is an instant shift or an instant hop to that reality or to that version of yourself. That's the state, okay? It's instant. So from there, you can be rest assured that every single thing that you're experiencing in the physical 3D is a part of your manifestation. It's a part of that unfolding. So if it's crickets in the 3D and you're putting more focus on being who you want to be, even that crickets is a part of you getting what you want, even if that doesn't make logical or literal sense to you. That's the beauty of this. It doesn't have to make sense to us. The 3D never has to make sense. And I can comfortably tell you there were plenty of moments where the 3D made no sense to me, but I still got my manifestation. And try to also remember, I know you didn't use the phrase no contact, but a lot of people do. When we think we're not speaking to someone, we believe we're in no contact. You're not in no contact. That's not possible because we are all connected in consciousness. So you are still consciously in contact with your SP. So you don't have to worry about that. There's no real no contact. So don't overthink. There's nothing wrong. Go back. Put the focus back. Really, and I've said this before, truthfully, like the answer to just about every single manifestation question is return to your decision to be new self. For real. Or place your awareness on who you want to be. Okay? How are you so good at judging? That was so nice. Thank you so much. Because I love talking about manifestation, maybe. And I'm obsessed with it. Angel Summer, why, when I go live, does my nose itch? And now I know I got to believe because I think about it. Okay. Angel Summer, member for 11 months. Thank you very much. Been feeling depressed over the past few weeks, just not feeling myself, and people have distanced from me. I'm feeling lonely and hopeless. Clouds use a little zhuzh. I know you meant could use a little zhuzh, but you know I read them exactly like they're written. So, you've been feeling depressed. All right. Chances are, and probably 100% chances are, that number one, you're focused on your reality. You're feeling separate from reality. And you're perceiving it as, right? We'll start with people are distancing themselves from you. So what is the story you're telling about yourself, Angel? What do you believe about yourself, truthfully? I have to itch my nose so much. Okay. What's the story? What do you really believe about yourself? The truth. You don't have to type it or tell me. Authentically, what do you really believe about yourself, Angel? Because if we're experiencing what I would call, the distancing, feeling like people are backing off from us, blah, blah, blah. There's something about us we're not loving. And we're identifying with it, meaning we really believe we are this version of ourselves. So there's a reason why I try to really push to make sure y'all understand who you really are. Because everything else is just a limit, some placed upon us against our own will, in a sense. Meaning we start conditioning the moment we're born. So we're really just plain old consciousness with no limits whatsoever, flawless, limitless, pure consciousness. Call it unconditional love. That's who we really are. And this is consciousness or unconditional love, choosing to experience the physical 3D within this meat sack, this manifested meat sack, also your meat sack, and anybody else on this planet. It's the manifestation of consciousness, choosing to have this experience, getting lost in this experience. So, there is something you are identifying with, Angel. about yourself. So the more we experience, especially if we feel like we're experiencing it in love and in friendships, my guess is it's the not good enough. Because if you were to say to me, I feel like I'm a pain in the ass to my friends and to, SPs, or I feel like they just don't care about me. I'm just not that important to them. That's all the not good enough belief. When we feel like people are distancing ourselves, that's a little tinge of, the fear of abandonment as well. So if I were you, I would be putting my awareness on who you want to be. I don't mean forcing yourself to do a bunch of techniques. Sometimes we do just need a damn break, okay? And especially if you're feeling down. First of all, I'm not even going to lie. When I feel, and I have felt the way you feel in the past, sometimes, a good old-fashioned nap felt good. And I'm not even saying that sarcastically. I mean that. Sometimes just a nap and stopping technique, stopping the overthinking, okay? And the focusing on what's going on in 3D. We can feel so attached to our 3D. We can lose ourselves. You're awake. So that 3D is malleable. It's changeable. And you could be living your absolute best life right now, Angel. You really could. You could tap in to that version of yourself right now. If you could be any version of yourself in any reality, what would you pick? What version of yourself would you pick if you could be any of them right now in this moment? You feel sucked in, right? So think of it as, try and think of a good analogy. Let's say that being awake and being in that place of being able to shift into any version of ourselves is like being plugged into a light socket. It's like you're trying to manifest while being unplugged. So now you're sitting out with no electricity, no power running through you, and you're trying to navigate your 3D without being plugged in. It's not going to work, right? If the vacuum cleaner, either the battery it's been charged or it's plugged in, isn't going to work, right? Blow dryer's not going to work. It doesn't have the power. So you're trying, I've said this in a video a long time ago, it's like you're trying to take a old, rickety, beat up boat and you're taking that in the ocean with sharks and other things, big old cruise liners going around you, and you're in your busted ass rickety old boat and it's full of holes and water's seeping in and you're trying to get the water out from the ocean with a baby spoon right now. See what I mean? We need a new boat. We got to recharge ourselves. And that's putting our awareness on number one, who we really are and who we want to be. And thinking about that reality or that version of ourselves dominantly. So things out here will change. So your boat gets prettier and less holes in it. Do you see what I mean? So, Hitman Thornton! Oh my God, it's been 100 million trillion years. How are you, Hitman? I've missed you. So, Angel, whatever circumstances are happening in the 3D right now, I guarantee you they can all melt away and change. if your focus came back to who you want to be. When I asked you that question, I manifested a lot of unfavorable stuff over the past few months, so that has brought me down. Okay, but you're aware that you manifested unfavorable stuff. Okay. So where was our mind dominantly when we manifested it? Where was our mind? It was probably focused either too much on the 3D or focus on a version of yourself that wasn't favorable. So girl, you bring that focus back to who you want to be. And allow yourself to actually marinate in that. I mean, really think about, Angel, if you could change every single thing that you're facing right now, how would you want them to look? What experiences would you like to have? All your friends blowing up your phone, begging you to hang out. Having SPs show up and beg to be with you. While at the same time, you feel so good about yourself. You're loving how you look. You're loving your own damn personality. You're loving your life. Think about that version of yourself and keep bringing your focus back to her. The more you're focused on her and thinking about what life would be like being her, the quicker reality can become the reality that version of yourself is living. It is that simple. It doesn't always feel simple, especially when we already feel down. But think about, you're only feeling down because right now you're looking at reality through an unfavorable filter. That's it. That's it. It's not because you're stuck there. And it's certainly not because manifestation doesn't work. It works flawlessly. You can do this, Angel. You can do this. Lisa, I totally agree with you. I felt empowered once I realized how much crap I created. No lie. I 100% can agree with you. Very empowered. Think about that, guys. Think about the crap you got in your reality that you're trying to manifest away or manifesting a change. Think about how that crap got there. This isn't about blaming and shaming. This is about, holy shit, I did that. I did that with my shitty ass thinking, my shitty ass focusing on shitty ass things. Look how I did that. Thinking shitty about myself, talking shit to myself. I did that. So can you imagine what I can experience if I start talking nice to myself? Telling myself stuff that I want to hear. All good stuff. That's not being conceited. That's not being self-centered. Well, I suppose it is, but it's self-centered is good. Over here, it's good. Putting the focus on yourself as who you want to be, talking to yourself in a favorable way. Even if, all right, if you're manifesting money, telling yourself you're a millionaire or a multimillionaire or whatever you're called before it's $1 million, whatever feels believable to you or possible to you, okay? You start telling yourself that money is raining on me everywhere I go. Someone's giving me money. I can't believe how much money is showing up in my life. If you keep talking to yourself like that, that's changing your identity. It will change your reality. It's undeniable. And I agree with Lisa at 100% that if you would take the time to look at all the things that you want to change, and you would authentically take a look at what type of thoughts you really used to think and own them. Like, yeah, I really did think shit like that. I really did. There you go. There's your proof. Manifestation really works. Can you imagine if you were more focused on the things you want versus the shit you don't want? I'm just saying. Okay. ST, thank you very much. Thank you for this. Well, that was so nice. Thank you. Man, you guys are good to me. Thank you very much. AAM 9698, aka Rachel. I know it's working. Good. Only time the opposite is when tired. Even in middle of night, I affirm my choice. I don't quit. Not used to the quiet inside, LOL. I think it's a good thing, though, that as far as the quiet, only because I can resonate, when it feels like the mind's always on and when it's not favorable. So getting it to calm, being able to focus and center your thoughts, it is a good thing. Now, as far as, feeling like it's not working or feeling like giving up when you're tired. You see, that's why I actually say, sometimes all we need is a good old-fashioned nap. Kind of like when an infant or a baby, a young child is acting like a little shit. Sometimes all they need is that little nap. And they wake up like a little angel again, and they're all cute, and they're cute when they're sleeping, they're cute when they're awake, and they're rosy cheeks. But you see what I mean? Why, as adults, do we stop requiring that nap when we're losing our shit? It still would work. It's a refresher. It's a rejudge. And sometimes we just need a little bit of a reset. Getting center. I think that taking the time to understand or decide what you believe about who you really are is helpful. Meaning, I'm not telling you to believe in God, to believe in universe. I don't care what you choose for yourself. But the sooner you make a decision on what you think your true self is, that helps us to center our mind. And if you're anything like me, I believe in God. I believe in pure unadulterated consciousness. They're one and the same. And you're a little, sparkle from it, living this existence, this meat sack. I like to remember that when I'm feeling really all involved in the 3D. That's a reset. Sitting in a room with nobody in it, turning off technology, closing my eyes, and trying to put my focus on who is focusing, on the observer. It's nice to go back there. It's just a center. It's a reset. And then from there, putting the focus or bringing the observer's attention to the who you want to be. Listen, you're doing this every single day of your life. You're just in a habit of returning to one of the infinite versions of yourselves. It's why they feel so real, why it feels so normal, why your past, your history, your current 3D life, that's why it feels so natural, normal. Because you've been inhabiting this version of yourself your entire existence. So it feels like it's the one real life. But it's not. And if you would build the habit of focusing on the version of yourself that you want to be, that's living your best life, the sooner this reality collapses and that new reality comes in. If you don't like that visual, then okay, the quicker we're focusing, we're building that habit of that new self, think of it as that's you like jumping to that reality, that timeline, whatever wording you want to use. See what I mean? We're just building a habit of the new version of ourselves. And quite frankly, it's not like one, if you're all out there and you've got your one main manifestation, it's number one, it's not like you're not manifesting every single thing in your life anyway. You're manifesting your reality every day. Okay. When you wake up in the morning and you see wherever it is that you slept, you manifested that. Okay. You're that powerful. We take all that shit for granted. That's unimportant stuff because it's not our one main manifestation. Well, let me just say that even once you've manifested whatever it is that you're currently focused on, you're not done. You're going to want something else. You're going to move on from there. You're going to be doing this your entire life anyway. You've already been doing it your whole life. The difference is now that you're aware that you can choose that life, that reality. That's the only difference. So now you're awake to it. You see what I'm saying? All right, on this note, I do have to go. I have a call in here in 5 minutes. Listen, thank you very much for hanging out with me on this lovely Monday, this unexpected Monday live stream. Anyway, unexpected. So I do appreciate it. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. And, I'll be back. Please put the focus on who you want to be. Your life will change. I'm telling you, your life will change. We only feel bad. We only feel uncomfortable when we are focused on something either literally or logically in the 3D or on a thought. Ask yourself, why do you think you even had the thought? Ask yourself that. You don't need to ask yourself that, but I'm saying if you're wondering why you're thinking a shitty thought and believing it and allowing it to bother you, why is it even there? Where did it come from? And make a new decision. Focus on who you want to be. Life will change. All right? Okay. I love you all. I'll see you all probably tomorrow. Whoops.